Today we'll be doing a ranking over not necessarily a ranking, but tiers of Pulaski Academy players that I have listed down here. I might be missing a few, but these are the players that really came to mind when I wanted to do something like this. And let's dive into the tiers that I have. First, I have best of the best. Speaks for itself. These guys are going to be legends around the program for a while. All-timers, not quite the best of the best, but you could debate they could be there, but just a tier below. Greats, great players. I don't really know what to say about this tier. I mean, they're just great players. Really good. Maybe the production didn't last for, when the 3-year starter. Maybe they just got 1 year of really good stuff, of one good season. And then moving on to the good. Good is just they had maybe the talent wasn't there as much, but they had 1 or 2 years that was pretty decent and put up some solid numbers. Without further ado, though, we're going to get started, and our very first player, I believe, is KJ Colon. Had the privilege to play with this guy. He, in his career, had 146 total tackles, 108 solo tackles, 8.7 tackles per game, 9 interceptions, 5 onside kick recoveries. And if you played at PA or know what we do, that is huge. Had 1,089 all-purpose yards with 2 kick returns. I think this guy was, he probably could have played ball after his junior year. I've never played with someone who shut down a whole side of a field like he did. And for that, I'm gonna put him in the greats. I'm gonna put him in the greats right now. All of these we'll just kind of go back and adjust as we move along. Next up, I believe, is Kenny Jordan, another teammate of mine I got to play with. Unfortunately, he did leave his senior year, but when he was with us, man, it was special, especially what he did in the state title game. Never forget that. But he did finish his career at Pulaski Academy with 2,221 career rushing yards, 24 rushing touchdowns, 43 total touchdowns. His senior year had 1,725 yards, 20 touchdowns, and also gave you 864 receiving yards with 11 touchdowns. I think Kenny's a weird one because I believe had he stayed for his senior year, probably would have been in that all-timer, maybe greats. But for now, I think I'm going to put him in the really good category, just because they're going to get to have that senior year, and no one probably knows how much we would have missed him that year. Like me, man. We could have really used him. Moving on to my quarterback, Brandon Cobb. Brandon Cobb lit up the box score just about every game he played. Let's read some of his career totals. He finished with 9,727 yards, 98 touchdowns, a 60% completion percentage. His senior year, he had 48 touchdowns to only 11 picks, 326 yards per game. Also had another 898 yards on the ground, and finished his career with over 11,207 yards all-purpose. Not enough compliments I could say about this guy. I think he had a game against either West Monroe or MRA where he had like 200 yards passing, 200 on the ground, 4 touchdowns passing, 4 touchdowns running. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but it was a stat line similar to that. I do believe it was something like that. But for that, I think I'm going to put him at the I'm going to put him with KJ at the greats. Another teammate of mine, I know you're probably sick and tired of hearing that, but another teammate of mine, maybe I'm biased, Cale Busby, only played 1 year, but his 1 year was incredible. First season in 6A, he finished with 4,092 yards, 41 touchdowns to 13 interceptions, 65% completion percentage. Also gave you 510 rushing yards and 12 TDs. Again, sort of like Kenny, I had one really great year. It would have been nice to see that senior year and see what he could have done. And for that, I think he's going to go right next to his running back, Kenny. Next up is Hudson Henry. Yeah, Hudson Henry. Hudson Henry, I feel like a lot of people know that name. He finished his career with 2,604 receiving yards, 27 touchdowns. His senior year, 1,309 yards, 14 touchdowns, 93 yards per game, and 94 catches. I mean, not much to say about this guy. I feel like if you're watching this video, you probably know a lot about him. I think I'm gonna put him in the best of the best. I think he belongs in the best of the best. Maybe the all-timers. I'm kind of leading all-timers right now. Maybe we'll go back. We'll go back and check that one later on. Moving on, I believe that is an older picture of Mr. Thomas Thrash. Couldn't find a high school picture, as it's been a while since he's played ball. But his stats were probably the easiest to find, and they're quite a bit. There's going to be quite a few guys on this list who just light up the box score. There's going to be so much. Let's just read off what he did his senior year. Couldn't find his career totals, but his senior year stats were everywhere. His senior year, 5,272 passing yards, 70% completion percentage, 77 touchdown passes. Had an 8-touchdown half game, had one 10-touchdown game, and 2 7-touchdown games. Also had one 9-touchdown game. So for that, I think he belongs in the best of the best, just for that season alone. Let's see. All right, next up, Broderick Green. You've been around the Little Rock area for a while. You know about Broderick. He had 2,042 rushing yards, 23 touchdowns, 145 yards per game. Also gave you 545 receiving yards and 4 touchdowns, 6 yards per carry. I'm going to put him in the best of the best. I never personally saw him play, but based off word of mouth and what I hear, I think he belongs in the best of the best. Next up is John. Yeah, this is John David White. I thought it was Cooper White for a second, but that's John David White. He finished his career with 2,567 yards, 38 touchdowns. His senior year, he went crazy. Had 1,732 yards with 30 touchdowns, 20 yards per catch, 123 yards per game. I think he belongs in the really good or good category. I think he's gonna go in the really good. I think he'll go in the really good. Next up is probably personally one of my top 3 favorite players on this ranking is Jaron Watkins. Jaron Watkins finished his career with 4,380 career yards on the ground, 51 touchdowns, had over 1,200 yards through the air, 2 non-touchdowns. His junior year had 2,067 yards on the ground and 24 touchdowns. Senior year had 1,777 yards and 18 touchdowns. Through his career, he averaged 137 yards per game and averaged 10 yards per carry. And for that, I think he belongs in the old-timers. I don't think there'll be any debate on that. Next up is Andrew Pfizer. Andrew Pfizer gave Pulaski Academy one of the best moments it's ever had with that catch against Marion. What a moment. I don't think I'll ever forget. That's probably one of the best moments I've ever been a part of, easily. But his senior year, he had 101 catches, 1,207 yards and 8 touchdowns. I think he also kind of in that really good. I think I'm gonna personally put him in the good category, and maybe we'll adjust that. Next up is let's make sure this is right. Yeah, next up we have Joe Hyman. I don't know why I'm stuttering to say that name. Everyone knows that name. Joe Hyman had 3 1,000-yard rushing seasons, 3-year starter, 1,000-yard receiving season, and finished his career with 4,882 yards, 68 touchdowns, 10 yards per carry, over 400 carries. His junior year had almost 3,000 all-purpose yards, and his senior year had 40 total touchdowns. Unbelievable. 32 of them on the ground. He probably would have gotten 3,000 again had he not gotten nicked up his senior year. Finished his career with 97 touchdowns. Unbelievable. This is an unbelievable player. I think he belongs in the best of the best. I think that's pretty easily too. Yeah, that's pretty easy. All right, next up, John Mark Charette. I've got Charette with, he finished, what did he finish with? Oh, no, yeah, he had 2 1,000-yard seasons, 3-year starter. Obviously had that terrible injury his senior year. Probably would have broken a couple of records had he not gotten hurt. But his junior year, he had 1,330 yards with 10 touchdowns. Sophomore year, had 1,038 with 10 touchdowns. Just a guy who, not many guys work harder than Charette. Got one of the best work ethics you'll ever see. And just for me getting to see it, I think I'm going to put him in the greats. I think I'm going to put him in the greats. Had he not gotten hurt his senior year, I think he would have been in the all-timers, maybe the best of the best. He was on pace to break some records that some other receivers on this list have. Next up is a pretty darn good player. He ain't bad either. Number 33 right there. He finished his career with 173 tackles, 94 solos, 23 sacks, man. That is really good. 5 forced fumbles, 3 recoveries. Junior year had 13 sacks, 21 tackles for loss. He did finish second in PA history with 6 sacks in a game against El Dorado. I think that was in 2023. Yeah, 2023. So he did do that. And for that, maybe I'm being biased here, but I think he's an all-timer. People may not like that, but I think he's an all-timer. Next up, the guy that has the record, Rickenbach, I think, finished his career with 119 tackles, 100 solo tackles. I mean, Max Preps. I got most of these stats from Max Preps. 100 solo tackles, 25 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions. Had the famous 7 sacks in the state championship game. Unbelievable. 7 sacks in one game. I think that's going to land him in the all-timers. I think that gets him in the all-timers. Let's see. Next up, Alan Thomason. I personally believe he's the best lineman in PA history. I'm sure we'll get some debates about that. I'm probably biased. I mean, I went against him a lot and watched a lot of his film. 3-year starter, two-time captain, 3-time All-State. Just what a player. Great work ethic. I mean, if I was a quarterback, that's the guy I want my O-line to start with. I'm going to start with that guy right there. And for that, I'm going to put him in the best of the best. Again, maybe I'm a little biased, but if you ever watched him play or went up against him, you know why he's there. Moving on to Brooks Walton. Brooks Walton is a guy I sort of remember watching play. He finished his career with 252 tackles, 94 solo tackles, 5 picks, 6 forced fumbles. His senior year, he had 123 tackles and 9 tackles for loss. For that, I think that's going to... Oh, man. I was debating between greats and all-timers when I first saw his name. And now I'm just completely stumped on where to put him. We're going to put him in greats right now. Maybe we go back and adjust that one. Who's next? All right, next up is Trey Johnson. He finished his career with 2,793 yards, 37 touchdowns. His senior year had 1,561 yards and 19 touchdowns. Had one of the best performances in PA history. Had 323 yards and 2 touchdowns versus LRCA his senior year. Led the state in yards. And as he loves to point out, he probably could have had more yards if they weren't blowing everybody out in the first half. And he sat the whole second half. Probably could have had more yards. But, yeah, this is one of the best receivers easily. I'd say he's top 2, top 3 receiver in school history. Before that, I'm going to put him in the all-timers. I think he's an all-timer for PA. All right, who's next? All right, Isaiah Woods. Ironically, running the ball here, even though he's a D lineman. Career 139 total tackles, 41 solo, 4 forced fumbles. Couldn't find his sacks anywhere, but I watched the guy play, and I know it's a lot more than 0. Finished with 20 tackles for loss. I think I'm going to greats or old timers. Yeah, we'll put him in the great right now. Maybe we go back and put him in all timer. Yeah, maybe we go back and look at that later on. All right, next up, Luke Jones. Luke Jones, don't have many stats around him. It's just kind of a word-of-mouth thing. I remember watching him play just a little bit, and I'm going to put him as an all-timer just because I hear his name a lot. Next up is Zach Kelly. I can only find his sophomore year stats. He had 1,582 yards, 21 touchdowns, 130 yards per game, and 18 yards per catch. I remember thinking he was one of the fastest dudes on the planet. I'm gonna personally put him at really good. Yeah, I'm gonna personally put him at really good. All right, next up is somebody who is really, really good. Lane Hatcher. He finished his career with 15,483 yards, 185 touchdowns. Senior year, he threw for 5,779 yards and 66 touchdowns with a 72% completion percentage, 412 yards per game. Insane. Junior year had 58 touchdowns, 4,656 yards. Unbelievable. Sophomore year, his sophomore year had 4,667 yards. Also had 18 touchdowns on the ground. I remember he kicked the game-winning field goal, I think, against Parkview. Someone I would personally say he's a top 3 player ever in our school's history, and that's going to land him in the best of the best. Next up is a teammate of mine. Oh, we're getting through these pretty fast. All right, next up is Caden Nash, a guy I got to play with, a guy I got to be a captain alongside. Finished his career with 223 total tackles, 124 solo, 7.5 tackles per game. His junior year had 95 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. His senior year had 114 tackles, 15 tackles for loss, and 69 solo tackles. So for that, I think that's going to get him in the greats. I think that belongs in the greats. Let's see. Next up, L.J. Wallace. I mentioned Trey Johnson earlier. It says he's a top 2. This is the only guy that's probably above him. So L.J. Wallace finished his career with 3,685 yards, 52 touchdowns. His junior year had 51 catches, 1,175 yards, 18 touchdowns, 142 yards per game. His senior year, he goes 127 catches, 1,855 yards, 25 touchdowns. I think that's going to land him in the best of the best pretty easily. I don't think there'll be any debate about that one. Next up is Allen. Again, really hard to do these O-linemen, but I've watched a ton of this guy's film, so I think I'm just going to put him in the greats. Next up is Hayden Henry. Hayden Henry finished his career with 203 tackles, 85 solos, 8 interceptions. His junior year had 89 tackles, 32 solos, and 4 tackles for loss. His senior year had 93 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 39 solos. Another guy that I sort of remember growing up watching. And I'm debating on putting him in the best of the best or all-timers. I think I'm going to put him in the all-timers. You got to say the best of the best for the absolute best. Hence the name. Next up is next up is his brother. His brother finished with over 3,290 yards receiving, 43 touchdowns, 3-year starter, of course. Sophomore year had 748 yards, 10 touchdowns. Junior year, 1,093 yards, 16 touchdowns. Senior year, 1,449 yards, 15 touchdowns, 120 yards per game, 107 catches. Probably the most notable player in our school's history, so that's going to easily get him in the best of the best. Let me get a sip of water. All right, next up is Jalen Witcher. Had a had a solid junior year, 23 catches, 454 yards, 4 touchdowns. His senior years really stands out. 77 catches, 1,206 yards, 20 touchdowns, 93 yards per game. I think Jalen belongs alongside Zach in the really good category. Really explosive. One of the fastest guys. All right. Oh, that's Brett Lynch. I can tell by that catch right there. If you can't see that, I'll zoom in. Oh, I remember watching that. All right. I'm just going to read off his senior year stats. I couldn't find the years before that. Senior year had 77 catches, 1,282 yards, 17 yards per catch, 21 touchdowns. Finished his career with 32 total touchdowns, and just unbelievable receiver. I think for this catch alone in the state title game, should just get him in the greats. I'm going to put him in the greats. And who we got next? Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson is. I couldn't find all the stats of his years, but junior year, 54 catches, 1,288 yards, 14 touchdowns, 99 yards per game, an insane 23 yards per catch. I think he's either in the not trying to knock him, but I couldn't find his other stats, so I'm gonna put him in the really good. Excuse me. Next up is Will Heffley. Will Heffley finished his career with 9,859 yards, 128 touchdowns, 66% completion percentage. Senior year had 4,897 yards, 62 touchdowns to only 12 interceptions, 71% completion percentage. I think that's good enough to land him in the greats. He's also going to be in the greats. The greats is starting to fill up a little bit. I have to bump some guys down. Next up is Cooper White. His junior year had 37 catches, 594 yards, 8 touchdowns. Senior year, 63 catches, 1,285 yards, 18 touchdowns, 20 yards per catch. Great senior year. I think similar to Pfizer, just kind of had that explosion his senior year. I'm going to put him in the good category. All right. I mentioned earlier about we're going to have a couple of guys that I run out of breath with just because of how much they fill up the stat sheet. And this guy next is, I've got quite a bit of notes on him. All right. Let's get into it. Let me quit stalling. Braden Bratcher finished his career with 10,468 yards, 114 touchdowns, 68% completion percentage. His junior year had 4,733 yards, 57 touchdowns. Senior year had 5,196 yards, 51 touchdowns. Averaged 400 yards per game, 67% Completion percentage also gave you 764 yards. Oh, no, I'm reading his Springdale Harbor stats. Springdale Harbor, one game, had 674 yards in the air, gave you 9 touchdowns. Also added another 136 on the ground and another touchdown. All in one game. Absolutely insane. I think for that game alone, he just belongs in the all-timers. I don't think there'll be much debate on that one. Next up, there might be some debate on whether this guy should be in like a tier ranking with all these names. I think by the time this next year is done and he's done with his career, I think he'll easily be on this list. But his junior year, Javion had 1,834 all-purpose yards, 18 touchdowns. Got starting to rack in the offers. I think next year's going to be big for him. But for right now, we're going to put him on the good category. I think depending on how this season goes, he can maybe make it up to the all-timers, depending on how this season goes. All right, here we go. Will Hastings. All right, Will Hastings, probably the fastest white guy I've ever seen in my life. Will Hastings finished his career with 3,666 yards, 28 touchdowns. His junior year, he had 67 catches, 1,400 yards, 21 touchdowns. Senior year, had 113 catches, 2,040 yards, 23 touchdowns, 145 yards per game, 19 yards per catch. Had I not seen him play, and I just looked at these numbers, like he would easily be an all-timer. But I got to see him play, and I personally think that, I think he's the best of the best all-timer. I think maybe I'm kind of overstepping trying to put him the best of the best. Maybe it's a little childhood bias, but we're going to stick him right there at all-timers. Next up is Fuda Shinkawa. Now, this is probably one of the defensive players that will make me get out of breath reading off his stats. Fuda, 3-year starter, finished his career with 388 tackles, 125 solo, 5 forced fumbles. His sophomore year had 124 tackles, 10 tackles for loss. Junior year had 140 tackles, 53 solo, 19 tackles for loss. Senior year had another 124 tackles, 35 solos, 14 tackles for loss. Yeah, I mean, anybody who watched him play, I think he's easily the best of the best. Like, game on the line. I would love. I'd pick Fuda over just about anybody. Next up, man, another guy who's just gonna fill up the stat sheet. Freddie Knighton. Freddie Knighton had 8,931 yards, 120 touchdowns. His junior year had 4,324 yards, 54 touchdowns. Also gave you 876 yards on the ground, 8 rushing touchdowns. His senior year had 4,557 yards, 66 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. Haven't done the math on the touchdown-interception ratio there, but I'm sure it's something insane. Had a 73% completion percentage. Also gave you 840 yards and 15 touchdowns on the ground. Just an all-out athlete. You go watch his highlights on YouTube. You see what the hype is all about. I think on just skill alone, he's the best of the best. Like, even if he didn't put these numbers, if you just saw his skill set one game, you'd be like, best of the best, easily. Let's see. Next up is Cameron Bland. I couldn't find any of his stats on Max Preps or anywhere, but I remember watching him play. He was kind of like a do-it-all guy. Play receiver, some safety, some corner, and was really good. I mean, he could have probably played D2, D1, any of those spots. He was really good. And speaking of really good, that's probably why I'm going to put him in the really good category. Next up is Joe McKinney. One of the again, when we really start to rack up these receivers, there's just so many good ones. He finished his career with 3,051 yards, 31 touchdowns. Junior year had 74 catches, 1,379 yards, 15 touchdowns. Senior year, 95 catches, 1,596 yards, 15 touchdowns, 133 yards per game, 17 yards per catch. And how could everyone forget his awesome catch versus Catholic? That probably should have been the picture I put here instead of that one. Yeah, I think that was easily one of the best moments in PA history, that awesome catch. Yeah, I think it was fourth down that when he made that awesome catch. And for that, with his talent, skill set, also put up the numbers while having the talent, I think that lands him as an all-timer. All right, who we got next? Sorry about that. I just get lost in my notes. All right, here we go. Trey Bruce. Trey Bruce is all-around guy. I believe he played quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end. I mean, whatever position you wanted to play on offense. He finished his career with 1,546 passing yards and 17 touchdowns. Also finished his career with 1,359 rushing yards and 16 touchdowns, and finished his receiving career with 2,831 yards and 32 touchdowns. His senior year, he had 1,435 yards, 122 catches, 16 TDs, 102 yards per game. Absolutely, what a beast! What a beast! I think he belongs in the greats. Maybe the all. Man, he did everything. He did everything. But I want to try to keep the top two like reserves. I know we got a lot of names, but I think greats is fair. Next up, one of my D-line coaches, Dirk Tanner. Couldn't find his stats, but I've watched his highlights. He was 6'1", 270, and he ran a 4.78 40. So that just kind of tells you about the athlete he was. And please go watch his highlights on YouTube. I forget what the channel is called, but please, after this video, go watch that. Guy was incredibly quick for 270. Maybe he's lying about 270. Maybe he was like 230. Before that, I think he's easily an all-timer. I think he's an all-timer. Next up is Caden Halls. Again, kind of hard to do any stats for these O-linemen, but I remember watching him play, and I reached out to a couple other guys to help form the players for this, and they said Caden Halls needs to be here, and I think so too. And I think I'm gonna put him. I'm gonna put him in the really good. Oh, maybe the greats. I'm gonna put him in the greats. Maybe that's some more of that childhood bias. I remember I used to sit on the sideline. We'd actually talk. Moving on. That's another teammate of mine, Patton Wicker. Patton Wicker is another sort of like Bland. Did everything. Played quarterback his senior year. Against Robinson, had like 235 yards, 3 touchdowns. Did throw that pick six that stopped us from getting that shutout, but can't blame him for that. But he finished his career with 221 tackles, 124 solos, 12 interceptions. His senior year had 99 tackles. His 85. Oh man, his junior year had 85 tackles, and for that, I think that's going to land him in the really good. Put him in the really good. Next up, Jonathan Lewigs. I think it's Lewigs or Lewigs. Can't quite remember. Again, kind of hard to find stats on these O-linemen, but he's got a jersey hung up in the weight room. He's a 2-time All-SEC, 2-time All-American. I think he's pretty easily the best of the best. Excuse me, sorry about that. And last but not least, we have Adam Thrash. Probably won't like this, but couldn't find his stats. But his brothers were really easy to find. Take that how you want it. But led us to our first state championship in school history, and I think that alone will get you, not all timer, I don't know why I put them there, put them in the best of the best. And as I'm looking over this, I don't even see anything that I necessarily don't like. I think I'm going to move General Watkins to the best of the best. And maybe I might get some flack for this, but I'm going to move Hudson to all-timers. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. As we look down, yeah, I mean, I think I like what I see. Oh, I think I'm gonna move Isaiah up to all timers. Does that mean I gotta move somebody down? No, I don't need to move anybody down. I think this is a good list. Yeah, I think this is a good list. Really good category. I think that looks great. Yeah, the good category. That looks good. Well, that's going to be it. If you made it this far, please like, comment, DM me. Hopefully you like my insight on this and might make some more videos similar to it. Thank you for watching this whole thing, and I'll see you next time.